ones, it's Bernadette, and I'm here with your pick a card tarot reading for, I'll get the date right today, Friday, February 5th, 2021. Y'all, I just love you. Thank you so much for being kind and patient with me. I've had every damn date wrong this week. I had a client that I booked for Monday. I totally forgot I booked her. I'm out, on my way booking in with the manatees, and she's like, didn't we have a reading today? And I about fell over. I never do those things. I'm so type A. I was so embarrassed. She's so gracious. And your kind support and your excitement for me, for experiencing the manatees, and then you guys will see all the pig magic. And I did some for real talking turkey at the Ruderville Sanctuary last week. And so just thank you. You're so patient. You're so kind. But I got a little bit of sleep last night. Put on my war paint this morning and fluffed my hair a little bit, and got my good lighting going on. So we're ready to rock and roll. And so sound bowl, we're clearing all the space. We're clearing all the energy because, again, staying with the kookiness of the week. So the butterfly card has come for you all, but it was inverted when it came out. I almost never get the butterfly card inverted, but what was shown to me for this reading, this may be my favorite reading that I've ever done for y'all, because it just speaks so much to the times that we're living in, so through this whole COVID pandemic, the thing that happened in November that shall not be mentioned and whatnot, there's just been a tremendous amount of change in the world. And that's awesome, right? For most things, energetically, what I've been given from the animal allies is, okay, it was a little traumatic getting there. It was like the Tower card. But on the other side of it, and it was like the Devil card, all, like they got together and had some even more scary tarot card baby, right? It was all worth it. Every fear, every shocking thing that happened, everything, it was all worth it, because people are changing, mostly due to, people have woken up and gone, wow, my life is my own responsibility, and I better be able to pivot just to be, when I need to, just to be able to feed my family, to eat myself, to, all of these things, right? And I know that was harsh. Those of us that grew up in families that are like, no one's going to take care of you. You better be able to be self-sustaining, or you're going to be laying by the side of the road one day. That's how my family was, because that's how it was in our family. All the way from my grandmother when they lived through wartime, through my mom when she lived through wartime, so on and so forth. And her being a single mom. So all of that said, the change also hit people at an incredibly delicately deep level, where it shook. I have clients, I can attest to this. Many clients throughout last year, and it's already starting at the first of this year, that were affected at such a deep level that, almost with that whole, the world might end, or the world as I know it has ended in some way, and we're going to have to dream and a new reality. They were like, the F word. You know what? If this is how it's going to hit the fan, I'm going to do what I want to do. People are changing careers. They are getting out of toxic, awful relationships of all kinds that they've been suffering, making themselves suffer with for years, both with themselves and with others. It's just a thing of beauty to behold. Now, that doesn't mean it's not scary. It's very scary. But here's the cool thing. When people think they're doing all this changing, they're not really changing themselves. They're changing their thought patterns, and they're changing their viewpoints on what's real and not real, and important and not important. And really what you're doing, what they're doing, what I try to do every day, is just remember who I really am, what my spirit really is made of. I know what my soul is made of, right? And I strive to live that every day. I had to have a come to Jesus talk with somebody the other day, and I know my soul probably wouldn't do that, but dang, it felt so good afterwards. I couldn't help myself. I probably could have. I didn't want to help myself. And then I went and had cheesecake. But anyway, so Let me just get to this because it's just so beautiful. I don't even know that I can give it words for you guys. When today, this butterfly is inverted because it's asking you, now butterfly is usually a harbinger of big change, of a death and rebirth, out of that dark binding cocoon, flying out into the light. Butterflies are what? They're self-propelled flowers, right? And it's all about the changes that you're going to make are just going to be miraculous and dream-worthy and all that. And it is. But the caution today is don't change yourself, meaning you know who you really are. At your core, because every time you're not in harmony, every time you're not in resonance with something, that little, okay, let me try one more time. I'm not a singing bowl person. I love them. I'm not very good at them, though. That little ding goes off in the pit of your solar plexus, down in your root chakra, in your sacral chakra. You know it. You feel it. It's just like ping. Or, it might feel like a sledgehammer to you. Sometimes it feels like a sledgehammer to me or in your heart. And you know when you're not being authentic and making authentic choices, which so many of us do every day. And then we've got the, well, yeah, I do that because. Well, yeah, I do that because. Don't do it because. Figure it out. Figure out the way where you don't have to be in a position. You don't put yourself in a position where you're changing who you really are. Y'all, if I could tell you the numbers, in particular of women who come to me for a reading and they bring cash. And I want to ask them every time because I know what it's about. But mostly they'll usually tell me, and I'm like, well, and here's what I always say. Hey, listen, if you want to keep your cash, it's no problem. I'm a real business. I take cards. And then they get really embarrassed and they're like, my husband doesn't know I'm here. And I don't want it to show up on one of our credit card statements. Or, my partner doesn't know I'm here. They would flip. Not because of the money, but because they're going to a psychic medium, shamanic practitioner, boogity woo-woo person, right? They don't want their people to know. And it tickles me every time because they're some of my most regular clients. And I always know when they're starting to come into their own, when they whip out that credit card for the first time. It's a big step of independence, and I don't give a poo what you think. I'm doing me, right? I love that. I'm just like, where's the champagne? I gotta have champagne in my office somewhere, right? So today is that day. You know who you are. I know you know who you are. Let's say that you've been an accountant your whole life, and every time you gotta press that percentage plus minus equal sign, you just want to, you get harder and harder on your keyboard, and then you want to take a little baby sledgehammer and do whack, 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 and then eventually you just want to, you're done. Because maybe you wanted to be a manicurist. Maybe you wanted to cut hair. Maybe you wanted to paint art. Y'all, if you're an artist, I know yesterday was about medicine. Man, I felt it deeply. And the cascade of emails I got, a cascade of emails. It was crazy. But y'all don't want to be artists or be in the woo-woo business, the metaphysical business. Oh, dang. You know what? I'll get the link and I'll put it down. I did a class last night for COVR, the Coalition of Visionary Retailers, that I told you all about yesterday or earlier in the week or whatever. And it's a class about marketing and how to make money from your website and that kind of thing. I think they're going to keep it open for free for a while. And you guys could just go and download the PDF, or I'll put the link to the PDF below and you can look it over anyway. So I hope that will help you. But anyway, those of you that want to be metaphysicians or make a living through your art, I have heard every excuse in the world why you're not doing that. And it all goes back to this. But I've got to pay the bills. But I've got to have a way to pay the bills. But I got to be able to eat. I eat, clearly. Yes, I do. My cats eat. I got a chihuahua that's half chihuahua and half pot-bellied pig. Ain't nobody goes hungry at my house. Nobody. And if 25 people showed up, I'd be like, come on, there's room. I got enough. And I would. And I came from abject poverty. No joke. Abject. In a trailer, in the middle of the woods. We were the only people that had our teeth around us. Poverty. So, and that's just because we're from good stock. It wasn't because we had great dental care. We didn't have any dental care until there was an emergency. And even then, my mom was like, oh my God, we won't be able to eat. So, you know who you are. You know who you are, you know who you are, you know who you've always wanted to be, you know what you've always wanted to do, and today is the day to start that throat chakra speaking your truth. It's always been right there. Right there. You just couldn't, like a fur ball, you couldn't get it out. You're just scared. But today is that day. You're going to ding a bell somewhere in your house or whack a pan with something or maybe upside your partner's head so they shut up and just let you do what you want to do. You know, whack. Make it a little pan and don't make it a cast iron pan or I'm going to see you on an episode of CSI Miami or, you know, somewhere, true crimes. So it's that day. And I know I'm making light of it and I'm like, da 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 da. But because the feeling of that, the commitment to just commit to I got goosebumps. The commitment to be who you are. Oh, and not only that, wow. Oh my gosh. Can you guys see that? Like, oh, wow. Okay. Let me just tell you this. Wow. Okay. So monarch butterflies, they do the Great Monarch Migration every year. And through decades, scientists have been able to track that the same families go to the same spot in the same trees and the same brushes and whatever as the monarchs generations before them. And why this makes sense. Now, that would make sense, right? You're a monarch butterfly, daddy or mommy, and you're like, okay, little ones, we're, headed due east and we're doing this and we're doing that. But it's not that. It's that the lineage in the family, even if they get separated from their little, butterfly family, or they make it solo for whatever reason, gosh darn it if they don't show up right where you would think they would, given that family's, squatting rights in that particular tree or area or whatever. Holy guacamole. Okay, what this leads me to is this. Why I just stopped in the middle of everything, because Spirit then just also said, okay, right, but this isn't just about who's watching. This is about who's watching you, who they are also watching, meaning like family or friends or, just anybody that you see just really wants to be themselves and they just can't, they're not able to get there, to allow that person to come out, to let that person fly free, to break out of that cocoon. This video, it is instrumental for you, but it's also tremendously instrumental in you taking this message and passing it on and helping someone else break out of their cocoon and fly to where they belong, help them migrate and fly where they belong on that tree. We're done here. We're done. But seriously, so what you'll do is lead by example. You'll get your throat chakra, you'll get that purring, and you'll get it clear, and you'll get it balanced, and you'll get it healed. And then remember, today is today is ruled by Venus. Hello, no wonder that. I'm like, of course that makes perfect sense. And then I'm like, today is the day of love. Friday's the day of love, right? This really is a TGIF today. Okay, so the people that you love, and it just may be somebody passing at work that you don't love, but your soul loves them, because we all love each other, right? We're all one, blah, blah, blah. And so if you tap into that highest part of your your higher self, your soul, not your spirit, you'll just give them a little nudge, just in love, just in love. And it could very well change the course of their life for, holy guacamole, holy sea cow, for so much better. So you got a job to do, both for yourself and for someone else, or maybe multiple people. You may even teach a class in all of this. Yay! That would be so cool. So, all right, y'all, I love you. And thank you so much again for your support and your kind wishes. Pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be the first to get all the metaphysical madness that goes on around here. And as always, what? Bust out of that cocoon and stay wild!